How you guys doing? It's 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you got the notification bell on lock or you're a subscriber, then shout out to you. And you obviously know I haven't posted a video since March. I decided to opt out of making videos since the coronavirus lockdown, even despite the fact that there was an NHL and NBA bubble. I decided not to make any videos because it's hard enough as is to cap playoff games than to have to account for having the bubble measures and something that we basically never seen before. So I decided I'm going to wait it out until the start of a fresh new season, and we have a lot more information about the virus and a lot more information about how the teams and the leagues are going to go about how they're going to handle their business, to start giving you guys fresh new content and breaking down these sports like we're accustomed to doing over here at Bookie Bullies. So, in this video, I decided to talk about the top 5 things to look out for in the upcoming NBA season, the 2021 season, basically. Well, we would say 2020, 2021. It's starting in 2020, but really, it's a 2021 season. 72 games, and we could expect a play-in tournament towards the end, which involves 8, 9, 10 in the conferences, to see who's actually going to make the playoffs. So that's going to be interesting. But we're also going to see a lot of crazy stuff because we still are going through this pandemic. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the top 5 things to look out for in the NBA upcoming season. Starting from the top, I would go with rest. Rest is going to be a big deal in this upcoming season because we got so many superstars coming back from injury. We got Kevin Durant, we got John Wall, we got Boogie Cousins, who just got signed to the Rockets. You got Steph Curry coming back. He's going to be without Clay. You got Karl Anthony Towns, Big Cat, out here. So many guys are coming fresh off of injuries, so rest is going to be a big factor. You could expect that the coaches, knowing that there's going to be a shortened season with a lot of congested games, you could expect that there's going to be a lot of rest, so that's going to be something to look out for every game. Now, I feel like the NBA might do something a little bit more lenient than they did over the previous seasons, because typically when there's an injury or there's typically for injury reports, the NBA likes to have their news ahead of time. So at least 6 hours before game time, unless of course you're a game time decision or if you have something to that effect. But they've been slapping a lot of guys with fines because they've been basically resting their guys without any notice. But I think they're going to be a lot more lenient now because of the season and the pandemic that we're going through. So it's going to be interesting to look at. So rest is going to be one big factor. Number 4, I'm going with load management. Yes, I understand. I just spoke about rest, but the rest and the load management is not the same thing at all, because the rest includes all the superstars in the league. You're going to want to keep your superstars fresh so that you can actually play longer stretches, get better playoff berths, and obviously make it to further playoff games to be able to go deeper in and deeper and have deeper runs. So no, rest and load management fall under different categories. Load management would include guys like, obviously, Kawhi Leonard. You got Paul George. You got Kevin Durant, who was obviously expecting to not play back-to-backs. We're going to see how that plays out. Guys like Boogie Cousins, guys like John Wall, names that I basically mentioned about the guys coming back. Steph Curry, we could expect these guys not to play a lot of games, or at least not to play back-to-backs. So for this very reason, I think load management is going to be a big deal to look out for in the upcoming season. So when you're capping these games, just be aware to look out for who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing, and why they're not playing, because not everything is injury related. Next, number 3, I would go with the fact that not all the games, but a lot of these games are going to be almost MLB oriented. So we're going to have series. Not all of them, but we're going to have some series. So in 1 week, you might have 3 games. So you might have the Miami Heat playing versus the Washington Wizards, and they're going to play each other 3 times this week. So 3 times in 5 days or 3 times in 4 days. And they're playing the same team. So now it becomes like a playoff situation. So you're not just banking or betting or breaking down one game for one game. Now, today, obviously, Washington could spank the brakes off of Miami. But now you're giving the coaches a chance to readjust. They're going to play the same team again tomorrow, the same arena. So you're giving the coaches time to adjust, to watch tape, and then come up with different sets and different plans for what they're going to do and how they're going to execute it the next game. So that's going to be a major factor. The series-like games, that's going to be a major factor in breaking down this sport. So it's going to make it a little bit more challenging to capitalize and make money in this sports betting stuff. Number 2, obviously, COVID-19. At random notice, we might find out that a player got I'm sorry. At random notice, we might find out that a player ended up getting caught or ended up getting hit with a COVID-19 case. All of a sudden, they're going to be out for 10 days rather than 2 or 3 or 2 weeks. And then you got guys who are not going to be playing long stretch. So COVID-19 is a big deal in this upcoming season. This is why they've been talking about prioritizing some NBA players, but you have the FDA and you have a lot of government officials who are concerned that the NBA players or players in general, basically any sports entertainment players in general, that they're going to be getting special or preferential treatment. Now, that's not necessarily the case, and obviously I know that, but the fact is, not everybody in the world knows this. Some people are going to be like, well, these guys make millions of dollars. How are they going to get priority over us? Well, fact is, the players are not necessarily getting priorities. It's that the owners are billionaires, and a lot of them are actually invested in these pharmaceutical companies. And being invested in these pharmaceutical companies, they could probably just cough up a bunch of money out the ass, which has nothing to do with anybody else, and it's not coming out of anybody's budget, and they just slap it on, let's say, 800 NBA players. We're talking about 500, 450 NBA players, but we have to talk about their staff, the coaching, and all this other stuff. So we're talking about 1,500 people in the NBA at minimum. That's just like an average number. So about 1,500 vaccines. And when you go to the NHL, we're talking about 25, 2,300 around the many areas. But we would assume that the NHL owners would also be able to afford these vaccines. So because of these reasons, it's going to be extremely important to see what happens, not only with the vaccine, but what happens with this coronavirus pandemic, because this is going to be a major factor in affecting how these games play out, how teams get playoff berths. You're going to see who's really serious about what they do, who's quarantining, who's isolating. I'm sorry. And it's going to be a very big deal. But the number one thing, out of the top 5 things to look out for in this upcoming season, is no fans in the stadium. So it's almost like there's no home court advantage. So when you're banking on stuff, when you're breaking down these numbers, you want to look at a lot of different things that I'm going to get into in another video. But one of these things is who's playing at home, who's not, who's away, and how well do they do, who plays at home better than who, and obviously who plays worse when they're on their home floor versus on the road. There's going to be no fans, so it almost removes the home court advantage. The only thing that we have in this situation would be home cooking. You got players who are going to be able to eat at home, see their families at the end of games, and that's going to be a big deal. But as far as fans in the stadium, we're still not 100% sure how that's going to play out. So I think that's going to be a major factor as far as it goes for making predictions when it comes to sports betting in this season. But that's pretty much it for me. I think number 5, rest. Number 4, load management. Number 3, series-like games. Number 2, the COVID-19. And of course, the no fans and no home court advantage. I think these are going to be major players and major factors in this upcoming season. And you could share in the comment section and let me know how you feel about it. These are some of the things that I'll be looking out for. There's obviously a lot of other factors, but I think that this is going to be the top 5 things for me personally to look out for. And I'd love to hear how you guys feel about it. Just shout me out in the comment section. I'll be glad to respond. And that's pretty much it. So, anyways, I've been dying, but I'm not letting getting sick affect me. Not COVID-19. I think I caught a draft the other day. Wasn't properly. I'm in Montreal. It was like -14, so I wasn't properly ready for the weather. Anyways, going forward, I actually dropped the website bookiebullies.com. I'll still be posting on YouTube. You can still check me out on Twitter. I'll be posting my Snapchat, so you guys will be able to easily tag me on Snapchat. Come and check me out on Instagram. And, we're going to have a lot of content and fresh stuff for you guys to watch and get involved with. And I'm really excited for this upcoming season. So without further ado, please don't forget to hit the notification bell, the subscribe button, and obviously smash the like button so that the YouTube algorithm understands that you like videos like these. And not only me, maybe they'll post other stuff that you'll be into. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's it for me. You be safe, be good, and I'll see you again next time. Peace.